What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate versus rant, no hate. So listen, I found this really interesting, man. So I told you guys I was going to do a follow-up to the Andre Ward and Mark Kriegle video. And so here I go. But I wanted to say this to you guys, man, because I really thought about this, right? Now, I told you what they were talking about. Some of you might even saw the video, so you know what they were talking about. If not, when you see my video, then you will. So here it is, right? Now, one of the things I noticed, somebody else is talking about that interview, right? But they were talking about it on TikTok, and somebody made the comment that it's like the guy Mark Kriegle said, you know, Floyd figured out what he had to do and he became this financial phenomenon and all. And he said that Floyd became the most lucrative fighter next to Mike Tyson. I'm like, does this fucking dude know that Mike Tyson never made the kind of money Floyd made? Floyd became a fucking billionaire through boxing alone. What the hell are you talking about? Right? I said, but notice how people will sit here and bash Floyd because Floyd's rich and he still got that money and still out here doing it, still staying relevant in the public eye, even when it's not his fucking focus. But the fact is, everybody still want to know what he did, or is he broke? He still got that money? Is it true? I heard rumors, and right? But notice how they always bring Floyd up to try to make somebody else look bad. I watched the same thing happen to Roy Jones, not because of money, but people saying Roy Jones don't have the opponents. He don't have the resume to be compared to a Sugar Ray Leonard and guys like that. You might think he's as good as them because of the level of opponents he's beaten, but he hasn't had that. But then Floyd Mayweather comes along and it's like, okay, we hate Floyd so much, Roy's no longer, relevant to us. So you know what? Let's try to big up Roy. So it's like a Max Kellerman telling you Roy Jones was so great that him and Floyd was fighting at the same time and nobody knew who Floyd was, which is a fucking complete lie. Roy Jones was pro for 7 fucking years. For 7 fucking years. When Floyd started as a pro, Roy was already a pro for 7 fucking years. So no, they didn't start the same time. Roy had a fucking 7-year fucking head start. The hell is he talking about, man? And he never was able to accomplish and achieve what Floyd did on the levels that Floyd did it on. Now when people say, yeah, but Roy this and Roy that, and when they say, yeah, but how come Roy didn't make the kind of money that Floyd made then? And I say the same thing. Why? If he was so much more exciting than why? Now let's think about it. Isn't Terrence Crawford the exact opposite of what Roy was? Roy was a showman. Roy was entertaining, right? But Crawford wasn't the flashy type. Now, how the fuck do you think Roy Jones was better than Floyd Mayweather, but he's not better than Crawford? You see what I'm saying? So people saying Floyd and Crawford cut from the same cloth. Oh, but somehow he's better than Floyd. Then somehow he's better than Roy, though. See, all of these things that people say, it doesn't make any difference, right? It doesn't matter what you say. Your opinion is just your opinion. But all of a sudden now I'm noticing people glazing the fuck out of Floyd to try to make a point against Crawford because Mark Kriegle said so. And you know who this is? These are the same people that hate Floyd for beating Canelo's ass and beating their other heroes' asses. But now all of a sudden, I'm looking at the comment section just shaking my head like, you motherfuckers are y'all are some flip-flopping. Oh, now all of a sudden y'all want to give Floyd props. Come on, man. So and also what happened was people were saying, well, who had the better resume between Terrence Crawford and Roy Jones? Because that's the question that I asked a long time ago. So when you're making these claims about somebody's resume, come on. Now, at the end of the day, right? If a Roy Jones fan say, yeah, well, Floyd was never undisputed. Floyd didn't care about being undisputed. That wasn't Floyd's goals was his goals, and he was going to play this monopoly his way, not the way other people wanted him to play. And so at the end of the day, right, without being undisputed, look at what he accomplished. Okay, so the accomplishments doesn't mean a guy can beat another guy. That's where the eye test comes in. And I ain't seen one motherfucker that I feel like Floyd can't solve and figure out. But at the end of the day, right, all of this conversation now, because these same people that feel the same way about Crawford, the same one that's pissed off now because he beat Canelo, see, now all of a sudden these people are teaming up, taking Floyd's side. I said, wow, ain't this a motherfucker? But I told you guys, man, in this day and time, you have to know how to market yourself. You can't sit around waiting for no PR team and all this nonsense. You got to go out here and say, you know what, man, nah, I'm going to make my presence felt. I'm going to build my brand. I'm going to, and why not? You know, Alexander Usyk, you know, he doesn't have any overwhelming presence about himself. He's no more exciting than Crawford is. You know, as far as his personality and all, you understand what I'm saying? But you don't hear nobody saying that about Usyk. And even though Usyk beat Fury and beat Anthony Joshua, he still hasn't reached their star power. Especially Anthony Joshua's. He still hasn't reached that level of star power. You understand what I'm saying? But it's about the skills. Have you ever heard somebody say Usyk can't draw because he's not charismatic? See, this is what I'm saying. That's what this dude Mark Kriegle was talking about. Crawford could have did more by helping himself, but just, you know, getting the right fight. Well, his team, he was all over the place trying to make a point. He was trying not to sound like he's hating on Crawford, but at the same time, everything he said is just like, it's like blowing up a balloon, and as soon as you get the balloon full, instead of trying to knot, you just let it go. That's every comment he made, every fucking statement he made. He wasn't really making any real points. Nothing valid. So this is where I said, man, when I look at what they were talking about and why. Look, have you ever heard somebody say Gennady Golovkin is boring? He don't have any real charisma? No, because what's entertaining about Gennady Golovkin? His see, this is what I'm saying. And what needed to be said was really simple. I said it in my last video. If Terrence Crawford's skin color, if his ethnicity was different and he had straight hair, and pale skin, you couldn't tell nobody nothing about this dude. Yo, this dude is, imagine, he's black and people, see him as pound for pound. So imagine if he wasn't. And this is my point. What's so charismatic about Inoue? And the whole thing, what I'm saying, people who are no more charismatic than Crawford, you don't hear them get insults for not being able to sell. Oh, but Inoue got a whole country behind him, right? But look at his opponents. And this is exactly the point what I'm saying. It's not a shot at Inoue. It's just the reality. It's the reality. He has a very, very weak resume. And you don't even know these guys that he fought. Nobody talks about Inoue's opponents before he fight them or after he fight them. It's just, oh, well, he's a good fight. Why? Because you went and looked him up now that you know he's fighting Inoue. And that's just the way that shit goes, man. We look at things. I look at it like this. For me, I gain absolutely nothing by being biased. I gain absolutely nothing by making up things. So no, that's not how I live. I look at things and I say, I'm going to call it like it is, whether people like it or not. Because I'm not here to sit up here glazing people. But, for what I understand, and my understanding of what I see, I don't need to do that. You know, no, I don't need to do that. I have no interest in doing that. So what happens is America is a country, like I said, that's always been divided, more likely always will be. Racist as hell, just all types of garbage goes on. You know, this shows you, let me show you the level of hatred. Let me just point this out. Okay, to add to all of this. Look at all these people that's being deported from America. Look at how racist America don't want foreigners here. Look at how racist America don't want us here. But check this out. It never crosses your mind. You don't want people here, even if they look like you, because they're not from here. Like when you hear racist, you know, white Americans tell Mexicans, you want to be white so bad. You'll never be white. You're a stinking, filthy Mexican. You're a wetback and all this stuff, right? Now check this out. Isn't it crazy that that's how they feel about you? But they will cheer a foreigner that look like them to beat a black American. Yet we're all from the same country, right? You never thought about that, did you? Yeah. They don't want you here. They just want you to beat this nigger. Yeah. And this is where, see, I can see, if you see the video, Andre Ward was really irritated, man. And he was getting at that guy. He was getting at him. They commentate very unfairly, and they show favoritism. Now, for anybody who's never learned to appreciate the fact that Aries don't show favoritism, but I will stand for what's right, and I'm going to stand with my people. Now, when my people are wrong, I have no problem admitting it. You can call it tough love, you can call it whatever, but that's what it is. See, I ain't on no Hodge twin shit. What I'm saying, example, you say, I'm rocking with Crawford to win. Fuck that. It's my countryman. He's my black brother. Oh, that's racist. Oh, really? Well, go fuck yourself. Call it what you want. Do they call it racist when Canelo's fans are rocking with him because he's a Mexican? Oh, well, what do you expect? Yeah, right? It's just natural, right? For anybody other than black Americans. Anybody other than black Americans can cheer for their people, and all of a sudden it's expected. Yeah. My question is for Terrence Crawford. Are you ready to feel the Mexican power of Canelo? Yeah. And what happened? Just saying. Canelo has a whole country behind him. Manny Pacquiao has a whole country behind him, right? You see how they're so quick to bring that shit up, right? Yeah, it's just black Americans aren't supposed to do the same thing. So when you look and say black and white are countrymen, who does it matter to, though? Who does it matter to? And this is why these people commentate the way they do. See, you have people, one thing I learned about people too, you got people that will smile and laugh with you, might even hang out with you. But there's things about them that you don't see, maybe because certain things y'all don't do. I learned this. You really want to know where you stand with a person. Talk about religion or politics to them. That's when their real dirty sides come out. And I'm telling you right now, if y'all think that all this freedom of speech bullshit and all, if y'all think that any of these people are really thinking about, you know, fairness and what's really real, y'all are lying to yourselves. Y'all are delusional, man. You know, I think about commentary. I think about like fights I saw where the commentary team was so biased, and it wasn't even, I mean, it was just like an open book. It was so biased. And then after the fight, right? Like, look, just say, for example, right? When have you ever seen a black fighter get robbed in a fight? And you seen a bunch of white Americans go start a fucking justice for, page for that person? When? When have you seen black people do it? The closest I've seen black people do that to is making excuses for Deontay Wilder. Because he clearly said and did things that they said he didn't do. And he sat there and let people go on other people's platforms and vouch for him, knowing that, yeah, he did say and do it. Okay? Now, that being said, though, right? When have you ever seen that? When have you ever seen it? I'm going somewhere with this. Lomachenko isn't white American. He isn't American at all. Ellie Setback, Paulie Malignaggi, a whole bunch of other people jumped in there and started a Justice for Lomachenko. Started a damn channel for him. Yeah. So when Paulie is saying, I'm sorry, Lomachenko, he's the white boy that could beat you, right? Yeah. You see my point? One's Italian and one's from the Ukraine. But Paulie considers him a white boy. Yeah. You see my point? Now, what I just said earlier, when you hear these racist white people telling Mexicans, you'll never be white. You want to be white, so, okay. You see my point, what I'm saying to you? You see, you got pale skin. It's like, yeah, they just can't wait to crown somebody in basketball. They already tried to do it with hip-hop. Eminem's the greatest rapper ever. Yeah, okay, whatever. And what I'm saying, I give credit where it's due. If you're racist, fuck you. I don't give you shit, fuck you. But you understand what I'm saying? Everything with racist people is about race. They try to flip it on you because you won't let them get that bullshit. So here's what happens. Terrence Crawford is an American. Racist white people don't care. He's fighting against a Russian, they're cheering for the Russian. He's fighting against a German, they're cheering for the German. He's fighting against a Mexican, they're cheering for the Mexican. He's fighting against somebody from Yugoslavia, they're cheering for the guy from Yugoslavia. Anybody that has pale skin, blonde hair, brunette, green eyes, blue eyes, that's who racist white Americans are cheering for. And when you say it's not about the skin color, it's about the fighter, bullshit. I've heard some foolish ass black people say that shit. I agree that if you're being fair, yes, then that's what we're basing it on, right? But y'all know damn well that's not what y'all fucking motivation is. Y'all know that's not what y'all intentions are. Y'all know y'all racist asses don't want to see black people win. We saying the same thing happened with Venus and Serena in tennis. Man, and these people were so openly disrespectful about, I mean, the things that they would say. I give you an example. I remember one time, Serena was playing somebody, and I forgot what happened. Maybe the sole of her shoe was irritating her foot. Something happened, and she took her shoe off. And one of the female commentators go, "Oh, girl, all that money you make, you better get those feet done." Ooh, like what the fuck kind of comment is that? Like, you shouldn't be worried about this woman's feet. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess the polish was like, you know, that wasn't a fresh paint job. You know, just I mean, like. You know, John McEnroe. I mean, oh my goodness, man. I mean, it was so much disrespect towards them. Now, this racist piece of shit. What's the couple of months ago, where the woman tells this black woman she has no education and no class, and oh, you think you can do what you want because you're in your country? Wait and see what happens when you come to my country, right? Yeah. Now, the people that was there was cheering for the black American. But notice how nobody made a big deal about it, right? Now, there's people that spoke about it and gave it some light and made it know that, yeah, and there was a lot of people that was, you know, not black, that was like, nah, she's wrong and I don't respect what she did. Cool, right? So, but my thing is, that's how it's supposed to be. See, the thing with with racist white Americans is they don't travel to these countries. You see what I'm saying? They don't. Now, when non-racist white people travel to these countries and face racism, that makes them understand. Even though I look like this Russian, I look like this German person, I look like this Swedish person, they're racist as fuck to us. They don't like us simply because we're Americans. Okay, but how could you feel some kind of way when you from America and you don't like black Americans or anybody else that's American? But my whole thing, we don't walk around spreading hate. We don't walk around here talking about people because they from somewhere else. But this is my thing. And that's one of the things that needed to be talked about. But Andre Ward, you can see that he was, even the eye contact he was giving the dude and everything. Andre Ward was feeling some type of way about the dude commentary. He was feeling some type of way about Bob Aaron's comments and all these other things. And this is the point of what I'm saying. So when I'm telling you how stupid Roy Jones looked, sitting up there talking shit. See what I'm saying? Now notice Andre Ward did this fucking interview by himself. Where was Roy Jones' bald-headed ass? See, this is my point. It's like this motherfucker to hate on another black man. It's something with these people. Now you see the point what I'm saying. Now, does it make more sense to you? Why I'm like this old 50-something, at his age, the wisdom should be there, right? Nah. Who was Floyd beating this prime that was on this level? Floyd ain't beat nobody. Floyd. I know, right. But you will praise the fuck out of anybody else's resume that's not black. And you want to know what would make Roy Jones to show you the hypocrite that he is? Let the same person that he's saying is better than Floyd, let them say that motherfucker's better than Roy, got a better resume than Roy would have beat Roy. Oh, yeah. I guarantee you Roy will find a million things wrong with that person's resume. This is exactly what I'm saying. Black people find it in themselves to disrespect themselves. This comedian, what's his name? Corey Holcomb, right? I don't watch this motherfucker on purpose. Every fucking time I see a thumbnail or see some video pop up my feed with this, all he does is sit and bury black comedians. Do you ever hear him? Maybe he has. I've never heard it though. Do you ever hear this dude sit up and trash corny ass white comedians or corny ass Latino comedians or corny ass? No. All I ever hear this motherfucker do is call black comedians trash and just find a bunch of shit to say about them. Do you ever see channels with Latinos sitting up here talking about this comedian's garbage, he's corny, he's trash, a bunch of white American comedians sitting around talking about other white comedians being boring, trash? Nope. You don't see that shit. Every time you look, and this is why I say people attack the black communities verbally with all this shit, because they see weakness. A house divided. What your parents told you when you was a kid. If I ever find out you and your brother out here fighting, you and your sister out here, y'all out here showing out against each other, I'm gonna whoop the skin off you. Don't you ever disrespect each other trying to show off. You hear me? Yeah. Man, you go say something about your brother, and your little friend, so-called friend, think he can say something about him because you talking about your own brother. They try to make y'all fight each other. Divide and conquer, man. You understand what y'all know what I'm talking about, and that's the whole thing with us. Nah, we too divided. See, one of the things that racist white America knows is if you give a black man or black woman some money, they like, fuck all these other broke ass niggas. It's all about me. That's why Alicia Baumgartner turns me off. That's why Adrian Broner, people like that, you know, Tank Davis, all that, niggas is broke. We definitely get money over here. Niggas is broke. Like, wow. And this is your so-called Abdul Wahid Muslim. So you are so-called Muslim. What's changed about you, right? Are you walking around here as a black man and a so-called Muslim making fun of somebody's financial situation? So like when I say, when you go and bought those brownstones back in your old neighborhood, right? You realize that the people that would live there is broke, right? They're poor. That's what you got it for, people with less income. So you're making fun of them. If you laughing at another fighter calling him broke and that motherfucker just got $500,000 in the bank, what the fuck? How do you feel about these people who probably ain't got no money in the bank, just live from check to check? And this is what people don't want to address, but this racism shit, nah. If you're going to do it all the way. Do it all the way. Do it all the way. Of course, they're going to sit up here and try to make excuses and try to make it seem like you're not seeing their point or you misunderstood their point. No, they're racist, man. They don't want to see your black ass win. It's as simple as that. They don't want to see you win. And even when they do want to see you win, it's against somebody they don't give a fuck about. You fight their countrymen, they don't want to see you win. If a black American and a white American fought, how many white Americans you think is cheering for that black American? Yeah. And this is the point of what I'm saying, man. It's not play dumb, man. And you know what, man? I remember I used to see Rosie Perez when I was a kid on Soul Train. I remember seeing her dance on Soul Train. You know, all of a sudden I saw her in White Men Can't Jump, and I'm like, oh shit, I saw a couple of them Soul Train dances in like movies, like music videos, and like I remember this person from, and then I started to realize that the people on Soul Train were staged, right? And I just remember Rosie Perez being in some movies, White Men Can't Jump, all this stuff. I got like 2 movies with her in it right now on like DVD. I hold on to my shit because the motherfuckers might be worth something one day. But anyway, and I'm just like, yo, it's funny to me, man, because I'm listening to her. I honestly, man, she already got that little high-pitched, whiny voice, but man, when she is at a Amanda Serrano fight, I can't take her voice, man, because she don't see nothing that that Amanda Serrano's opponent is doing. All she see is what Amanda's doing. She don't see nothing the opponent's doing. And the rest of them sitting there, they do the same shit. They do the same thing. Like I said in the last video, when Katie Taylor's landing punches, they're talking and talking about how great Amanda Serrano. Like she just landed 3 punches y'all ain't talk about. Y'all even acknowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Like I see this. I'm seeing it happening. And I'm like, okay. And that's why I said, go watch the fight and you look and you see where Katie was landing them body shots and getting them sneaky shots in, and they wasn't acknowledging this shit on purpose. Every little thing that Amanda did, oh great, oh my god, oh, like, man, she landed a jab. The fuck you hollering for? Like, they would everything. And this is to persuade the people watching as well. Like, you know, she's really doing so much. And bottom line, y'all, this is what I'm saying. You see it all the time. When Max Kellerman was talking about, like when Crawford was fighting against Canelo, did you not hear Kellerman? What's going to happen? Can Crawford take a full punch from Canelo? What's going to happen when he, like, bro, Crawford is steadily whooping on his ass, and you still with these what if scenarios. Can he this? Can he that? Like, and I'm like, this dude, man, what is actually going on here, right? What's going on here? Now, I'm going to bring this video to an end, and I'm going to do a part 3 to close it out. And I want to take it somewhat of a different direction, but still hit these bullet points. This is all I got for you on this one. Catch you guys on the next video, which will be part 3.